Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Quran Book Club. This is my last video for Surah 11. For Surah 11. I said that once before. This is the last video and people got so scared just for this surah. Strap in. This may be a bit of a controversial video. Prophet Lut was mentioned again. We all know that this is my favorite story to talk about because this is kind of the one story that seems to go against me and my community, or seems to mention or conflict with my community. So let's get into it. I'm going to be referencing verses 77 through 83, but specifically for this surah, but also just the story in general. Lot's handsome guess. So apparently, some angels went to the kingdom of Lut, or that, yeah. When our messenger angels came to Lut. Sorry. When our messenger angels came to Lut, he was distressed and worried by their arrival. And then the footnote says, since the angels came in the form of handsome men, Lut was worried for the dignity and safety of his guests among his people, not knowing that they were angels. Now, this may be because Lut's people like to engage in same-sex intimate relations, which was mentioned before, specifically male-on-male sexual relations. Although a lot of people were telling me in my comments, there seems to be some conflicting opinions about Prophet Lut, which I am happy to stir the pot about, because some people were saying that it's not really as much about same-sex relationships, and it's more about sexual assault and rape and consent. Which, the story of Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bible, which is used a lot of times to dismiss the LGBT community, a lot of people also say was about sexual assault and rape and not so much same-sex attraction. The very, very infamous verse in the Bible that says something along the lines of, if a man lies with another man the way he lied with a woman, he shall be stoned. A lot of people like to point out that that was mistranslated from if man lies with boy, and was talking actually about pedophilia. So, I am going with the opinion that this story is more about rape and sexual assault, because I don't think God would judge. I personally don't think God would judge people for being gay. And honestly, I don't think he would judge people for acting on it either. And that is just my opinion. Verse 77 says, Lut was distressed and worried by their arrival. He said, this is a terrible day. And the men of his people, who were used to shameful deeds, which perhaps could be same-sex attraction and perhaps could be rape, came to him rushing. He pleaded, "Oh, my people, here are my daughters." And it says that daughters means all the single women in the city. "Here are my daughters for marriage. They are pure for you. So fear God and do not humiliate me." Don't embarrass me in front of my friends. "Do not humiliate me by disrespecting my guests," the angels. And see, I'm pretty sure Prophet Lut was saved at the end of the story. Just the people and his wife were not. So he's like, please don't embarrass me in front of my friends. You guys, like, please. "They are pure for you. So fear God and do not humiliate." Is there not even a single right-minded man among you? They argued, "You certainly know that we have no need for your daughters. You already know what we desire." Ooh, hunky men. He responded, "If only I had the strength to resist you, or could rely on a strong supporter." That last line right there, "if only I had the strength to resist you." That kind of seems to me like they can't control the urge to take what they want. That they have trouble, like, not acting on that desire to take advantage and to rape. In my opinion, that's how I'm interpreting it. I don't know. Reassuring Lut, the angel said, "O Lut, we are the messengers of your Lord. They will never reach you. So travel with your family in the dark of night, and do not let any of you look back, except your wife." They clarify, except your wife. They don't like her. I honestly don't know why they don't like her, but they do not like her. They dragged her earlier in this book, too. Mrs. Lut was dragged. "She will certainly suffer the fate of the others. Their appointed time is the morning. Is the morning not near? When our command came, we turned the cities upside down and rained down on them clustered stones of baked clay. marked by your Lord, O prophet, and these stones are not far from the pagan wrongdoers. Now, I want to know, what do people think about Prophet Lut? Do we think it's about rape? Do we think it's about being gay? In my opinion, I personally don't feel like being gay is a sin, and I do definitely think that raping people is a sin. So perhaps, in my opinion, that might be what they were referencing in this story, because I feel like it's maybe a bigger deal to tell people not to rape, and there haven't been many others. I don't think there have been other stories telling people not to rape. So perhaps that was where they were trying to get at, and maybe it's been misinterpreted by scholars, maybe it's been misinterpreted by translations, or maybe it's being misinterpreted by me. It could be. But I do want to say, it does hurt my heart. And listen, I understand that religious differences, that it is illegal to be gay in some countries. It is illegal to be gay, and it is illegal to act on, like, to have gay sex. And it does hurt my heart knowing that there are gay people around the world that cannot freely be who they want to be. Whether your religious beliefs aside, the Quran and the teachings of Allah throughout the Quran do tell us that we cannot judge other people for their sins or for what they do. It is not our job to judge. It is Allah's job to judge. And I think that by passing laws that restrict people's rights to choose to do what they want is, in a way, us judging them. I'm not trying to speak down on anybody's country. I know that y'all did not create the laws. You might agree with the laws, you might disagree with the laws. I've heard people say that there are gay people in Saudi Arabia that live their lives openly, that there are transgender people in Saudi Arabia, that there are transgender and gay people in all the other countries that you were talking about. But it does really hurt my heart specifically to know that in some countries being gay and being transgender are illegal. Because I think people should be able to should be able to choose to do what they want. And if it's a sin, people should be allowed to sin. People can get lip filler, people can get tattoos, people can drink alcohol, people can smoke weed. I do think that people should be able to love who they love and do that openly, whether that agrees or disagrees with the religious beliefs of that specific country. I know in America, Christianity is the most popular religion, and they don't really rock with homosexuality really much either. And I don't agree with that either. So I want to just say to all my queer Muslims around the world that I love you and I see you, and all my love is with you. I'm not trying to offend anybody, and I'm not trying to be hateful towards any specific countries or any specific groups of people. But I do wish love and happiness for all people, whether they be gay, straight, Muslim, Christian, non-believer, transgender or cisgender or what have you. So interested to hear your opinions on Prophet Lut. And those are my opinions on gay rights, whether they be controversial or not. That is how I feel, and that is where I stand. And I love every single one of you. Every single one of you, I love you. Everybody has been super helpful, and everyone has been really, honestly, welcoming and open-minded. So I'm not even trying to hate on y'all and saying that y'all are homophobic or transphobic, because that is not the vibe that I've been receiving. But I do wish governments would be more open-minded towards other groups of people, because it may be a Muslim country and it may be a Muslim majority, but that does not mean that necessarily everybody is Muslim and that everybody chooses to follow those teachings. And I do want the well-being and safety of all people around the world, gay or straight. So that's how I feel. I would also like to say that America is not by any means perfect either, and gay rights and transgender rights, although we do have a decent amount of them currently in America, a lot of them we only earned very recently. Most gay rights did not start being introduced until around the 1960s and 70s, when gay people would not take no for an answer. And we didn't even get the right to gay marriage until 2016. I think gay sex wasn't even legalized until like the 90s or 2000s. So I'm not saying that we're perfect, and honestly, my country is taking away a lot of our rights currently. So I'm not trying to say that my country is better than anyone else's. Honestly, I fight for gay rights in my country as well. So, yeah, America. And at the end of the day, America kind of sucks. So yeah. Actually, welcome back to Crown Book Club. That actually was not my last video. Gotcha. I have one more thing that I just thought of. This wasn't mentioned in Surah 11. This was mentioned in one of the first couple surahs, and I didn't make a video about it because at the time it was not popping off like this, and I did not have this much people to answer my questions. So I'm actually really curious. I need to know the story. I'm so nosy, and I need to know the story. It seems perhaps there's a conspiracy theory, dare I say, in the Quran that claims that Jesus was actually not crucified on the cross. And in fact, it was actually somebody else who looked like Jesus, and Jesus actually, in a different way, died and went to heaven. And I'm sorry that I cannot remember the actual verse that this is referencing, but I need to know the tea in the story on this. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I found it. This is from Surah 4 on Nisa, which people are telling me to react to, so I'll probably go back and react to this surah, but this is in my Quran. This is in reference to footnote 229, and we're going to start at verse 155. It says, they were condemned. This is about falsehoods about Mary and Jesus. They were condemned for breaking their covenant, rejecting God's signs, killing the prophets unjustly, and for saying, our hearts are unreceptive. It is God who has sealed their hearts for their disbelief, so they do not believe except for a few. And so for their denial and outrageous accusation against Mary, which the footnote says, they slandered Mary by claiming she conceived Jesus through an illegal relationship. And for boasting, we killed the Messiah Jesus, son of Mary, the messenger of God. But they neither killed nor crucified him. It was only made to appear so. And then my footnote says, 229, the popular belief among Muslims is that a conspiracy was made to kill Jesus. God made the main culprit who betrayed Jesus look exactly like Jesus. Then he was crucified in Jesus' place. Jesus was raised safe and sound to the heavens. Muslims also believe in the second coming of Jesus. I have never heard that before. I don't want to call that a conspiracy because I think that would be maybe a bit offensive to this religion. But as someone who's always heard and was taught that Jesus died on the cross to save you and me from our sins. Jesus died on the cross to forgive us of our sins. And so after 26 years of my life, to hear that perhaps Jesus was actually not crucified on the cross, they make that a big deal. They talk about the nails and the crown of thorns and the blood, and there's always, when you go to churches, there's always pictures of it, and they will show you that on the slideshow. It's in a lot of movies. It's very dramatic with the blood, and it's gruesome, and it's so gory, and it's so bad, and it's so because it's like somebody betrayed Jesus after the Last Supper, and then that happened. But what if it didn't? That's crazy. That's crazy. I've never heard of that. And I need the tea and the story time and the lore breakdown on this one. Because that is crazy, if true. That would shatter a lot of people's worldviews. Because for the person who betrayed Jesus to have actually been the one that was nailed to the cross, and then Christians are technically then, would they not be worshiping the betrayer? If that's the one that, and maybe that's why you shouldn't be painting and painting pictures of the gods and the prophets, perhaps, because you skewed the image, perhaps. I don't know, and I'm not saying that Christians are wrong either, but I need to hear the lore breakdown on this, because when I was skimming, there was another verse that I skimmed over because it wasn't this one that I wanted to bring up, but it said I read it again, and it said something along the lines of they're plotting to kill Jesus, the Messiah Jesus, but God is the ultimate maker of plans and has a plan for you to safely return to heaven. And then they doubled down on it later. So, oh my gosh, what if Jesus was not killed on the cross? That would be I need to hear it.